The Sunday ride this weekend goes to Barangaroo, and by complete coincidence, I rode there on Friday. So let's just have a look at what it's like. This is the blurb that tells you what it's supposed to be like. That we're going to have this Woolagool walk set up completely in 2024. It's going to have a separate shared path for cyclists and runners, and it's supposed to be a really nice place to go for a ride. Now this is where I went. I did part of the ride on the road and part of it on the path, and we'll see a bit of both that speed it up. Now to get there we had to go over the Pyrmont Bridge down to Saunders Street bike lane, and it's not complete but we've already got Muppet drivers driving in it. So we've come off the Pyrmont Bridge, and you can either go on the road here or go on the path. This is where I've been riding to work for, well, 5 or 10 years I think. So this is just my commute. Normally I'd go straight ahead here and down to under the Harbour Bridge and the rocks, etc. But I thought, well, where am I actually going to start this ride in Barangaroo? So I turned left there and came down here, and I wasn't sure where the path went, so I just rode along the road here. And this was an absolute wind tunnel on Friday. Wouldn't have been too pleasant to be sitting outside at all these cafes. Now there are a bunch of them along here, so I don't know where David's going to stop the ride for a coffee, but there's lots of potential along here. There's actually lots of bike racks, and there were quite a few bikes parked along here as well, so popular area. No view of course, in the shade, bit of a wind tunnel. Well, I don't know where the ride's going to have a break, but there you have it. There's a lot of options. There's also a lot of other cafes just around the corner here to our left which do have waterfront views, but I don't know what they're like. I've never stopped at any of them. I don't know what the food and coffee's like. So we get off the road, and you can see nice wide path, nice view off to the left. This grit stuff is not the best stuff to ride on if you've got skinny tyres, so better off getting on the asphalt. Now unfortunately the asphalt doesn't last that long because there's still construction going on around here, so it narrows down to a single path and not a lot of room. So yep, there's people come the other way. Got to be very careful, with blind corners, etc., and families, etc., just blundering around, not really knowing where they're going, not paying attention, not walking to the left, all that kind of stuff. So although this has speeded up, I was taking it very easy going around here because there's just lots of pedestrian traffic and young kids, etc. Now I always think it's worth going up here just to have a look. When I ride into work at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, which I haven't done for a year, I normally come up here almost every day and just stop and enjoy the view, and you can take a selfie or a group photo up here. It's a nice spot for it. Well, let's go back down and head around towards the rocks and just see what the path is like further on. Unfortunately, this beautiful separated path, etc., finishes just around the corner here, and cyclists are pretty much back on the road. If you're pedestrians, well, you could keep walking all the way around to the Harbour Bridge. Now, I don't ask me why, but there were a whole bunch of fire trucks down here. Whether there was a false alarm or something, I don't know. But I did this bit on the road. Again, this would normally be part of my commute, and although there's a marked bike lane here, you can see how worn away the paint is, and Sydney City Council's never bothered replacing it. And the reason that paint is so worn away is because drivers keep drifting across into it. And I can tell you from having ridden around here at least 1,000 times, they drive into the bike lane quite regularly, so you do have to watch it. But having seen that ladder truck there, I thought, well, I'll just duck in here and see what the excitement was. I have stopped at this cafe here on the right once and haven't been back. It is a bike themed cafe, but you can't see it here, but almost the entire queue was made up of fireys. So I don't know whether they all those trucks were here because they thought they needed some caffeine and it'd be a good excuse to come down and get a coffee. Maybe it's got the best coffee in the area, maybe it was the only place that was open. All those other places were opening up when I came through, and that was about 11 a.m. Ignore the time down the bottom, I haven't adjusted it. Maybe it was about 12 a.m. Anyway, noon. So we'll just go back the way we came. It was a fairly nice day on Friday. Obviously it's school holidays, so there's lots of people out and about, and yeah, you just have to, take it easy and relax, and don't go screaming around here like your hair's on fire, because you're probably going to, crash into some tourists or a family out enjoying the day. Back on this, narrow bit of path, again, you just have to take it easy and, relax and go around all the people out enjoying themselves, lots of little kids running around, not looking where they're going, etc. So, anyway, have a look out there to the right at that view. There's ferries going past and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's nice to amble along here and have a look, and even pull over here and have a proper look at the view. Who cares about the towers, etc. I'm more interested in what the water looks like. And yeah, it's not bad. I mean, again, that's why I like stopping up the top of the hill there in the mornings for a couple of minutes and just listening to the silence, because along here it's all pretty busy and bustly, but up there at the top of that hill, there's normally absolutely nobody up there. You got the whole place to yourselves, unless there's trains going across the harbour bridge. It's amazingly quiet. You can't hear any traffic noises or anything like that. All you can really hear is the seagulls. This was even more crowded along here. Whether you'd want to ride along here is another matter. I wouldn't recommend it, because I don't think there's much to really see and do along here. I did think that it would be good to come down with the kids, but to catch the ferry from, say, Abbotsford with the bikes, because the ferry wharf is just back there. Jump off and ride around here. That could be a nice little day trip. But you can see how slowly I'm riding through here. It's wouldn't have been much slower if I jumped off and pushed. And it is a lot more crowded. So do you want to come through here with a group? I'd say no. But anyway, that's up to the ride leader. Nothing to see around there. I was trying to remember where the escalator was to get back up onto the Pyrmont bridge. And you could just see how crowded it was, and I thought, I'm sick of it. I've had it. I'm just going to pick the bike up and walk up these steps. Get back on the bridge and head home. So that was my little tour of Barangaroo. Actually took something like 25 minutes to do that, but obviously we speeded it up. Did it live up to the hype? Well, I don't know. Since I've done it so often, or bits of it so often, I'm kind of an old hand. Someone who's doing it for the first time might think it's great. Now, I did duck off on the way home. You can see the little purple bits. Went up to Pyrmont, went and had a late lunch or late breakfast at Barzini, green eggs and ham. Can thoroughly recommend the place if you don't want to go to Barangaroo for your coffee stop. But yeah, I think it is worth just stopping and enjoying the view, because that was pretty pleasant.